Chapter 1. The Hidden Tunnel. Wyatt had always been drawn to the unknown. Abandoned buildings, forgotten roads, and the eerie silence of places that time had left behind fascinated him. So, when he stumbled upon rumors of a hidden tunnel deep in the woods outside his town, he knew he had to investigate. The forest was thick, the air heavy with the scent of damp earth and decaying leaves. His boots crunched over twigs as he pushed through the undergrowth, following the vague directions he had pieced together from old forum posts. Then he saw it, a dark, gaping maw in the side of a hill, half covered by ivy and moss. The entrance to the tunnel, a cold draft seeped from within, carrying the scent of rust and something else, something stale, like old plastic and dust. Wyatt hesitated for only a moment before flicking on his flashlight and stepping inside. Chapter 2. The Staircase to Nowhere. The tunnel was narrow, the walls slick with moisture. His light flickered over cracked concrete and rusted pipes, remnants of some long-abandoned construction project. After a few minutes of walking, the tunnel opened into a wider chamber, and there in the center stood a staircase. It was old, metal and concrete, descending into darkness. Wyatt's pulse quickened. This wasn't just some maintenance shaft, it felt deliberate, like a secret passage. Gripping the railing, he began his descent. The further he went, the heavier the air became. The walls transitioned from rough concrete to something smoother, almost commercial. Then, his foot hit level ground, and his flashlight revealed a sight that made his breath catch. Chapter 3. The Abandoned Mall. Before him stretched an enormous derelict shopping mall. Faded storefronts lined the walkways, their signs cracked and unreadable. Dust-covered benches and broken fountains sat frozen in time. The ceiling was high, lost in shadows, but Wyatt could just make out skylights, their glass grimy with decades of neglect. The most unsettling part? The mall wasn't silent. Somewhere in the distance, a faint hum buzzed like electricity struggling through old wires. Then, without warning, a section of lights flickered on, illuminating a row of stores before dying again. Wyatt's heart pounded. He wasn't alone here. Something was still powering this place. Chapter 4. The Sculpture Awakens. Cautiously, Wyatt moved forward, his flashlight beam cutting through the gloom. He passed a food court, the chairs overturned, the scent of mildew thick in the air. Then, he saw it, a massive sculpture in the center of an open plaza. It was an abstract thing, a twisted amalgamation of humanoid shapes and jagged edges, its surface a dull metallic sheen. Wyatt frowned. Why would a mall have something so unsettling? As if in response, the sculpture moved. A low grinding sound filled the air as its limbs shifted, its hollow face turning toward him. Wyatt's blood turned to ice. He stumbled back just as the sculpture's arm swung down, smashing the tiles where he had stood seconds before. Chapter 5. Trapped. Wyatt ran, his breath coming in ragged gasps. Behind him, the sculpture dragged itself forward, its movements jerky but relentless. He needed to find a way out, fast. He retraced his steps, but when he reached the staircase, his stomach dropped. The tunnel had collapsed, rocks and dirt blocking his exit. He was trapped. The mall's lights flickered again, this time accompanied by a distorted, looping melody, a children's song, warped and slow. The air grew colder. Wyatt knew he couldn't stay here. The sculpture was still hunting him. Chapter 6. The Oldest View. Ducking into a darkened store, Wyatt tried to steady his breathing. He needed a plan. The mall had to have another exit, a loading dock, emergency stairs, something. Peering through the broken display window, he watched as the sculpture lumbered past, its head tilting as if listening. Wyatt waited until it turned the corner before slipping out and sprinting in the opposite direction. He found a service hallway, the walls lined with rusted lockers and peeling safety posters. At the end was a door marked Exit. With one last glance behind him, Wyatt shoved it open, only to freeze. Beyond the door wasn't the outside world. Instead, he stood at the edge of an impossibly vast, dark cavern. In the distance, dim lights flickered, revealing silhouettes of structures, more malls, more staircases. And then, the whispering started. Chapter 7, The Truth Beneath. The voices were faint, overlapping, speaking in languages Wyatt couldn't understand. The air smelled different here, older. This wasn't just an abandoned mall. It was something far older, far deeper. The sculpture's metallic screech echoed behind him. Wyatt had no choice. He stepped forward into the darkness, the door slamming shut behind him. The last thing he heard before the whispers swallowed him whole was the distant, echoing chime of mall music, playing for no one. Epilogue. The cycle continues. Months later, another explorer found the tunnel in the woods. They hesitated at the entrance, flashlight trembling in their grip. From the darkness below, a faint, distorted melody drifted up. And something else. A slow, grinding sound like metal scraping against stone. Thank you so much, and if you did enjoy it, please think about liking and subscribing. Thank you.